Hey everybody, long time no see. Fresh
Yep.
off of airballing basketballs. That's my friend after work. Beautiful day out in Michigan. It was like 70 degrees. It was crazy, and it's almost the end of October. My co-host Diego's on your left, rocking that
What's up?
Mavs final shirt. Kyrie with a nice trimmed out. Come on, man. 11-9 Dallas right now. Um,
Yep.
yeah, but Diego's rocking the nice final shirt for the Mavs as we're recording this while the Mavs are battling the Timberwolves. What are some of the
Rematch.
observations you've seen over like the past couple days since the season started?
Since the season started, one thing I've really noticed and I've been surprised about is just the amount of zone I've seen. Um, the Mavs ran it a little bit. Some other team was also running like a 3-2 zone. Very interesting. So that was nice to see. Big scoring. Paolo Banchero's dropped 50 last night. Love that because he's on my fantasy team, my dynasty fantasy team. It's very interesting. Anything
I didn't
else?
know they had dynasty basketball.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's been like a week that I've been in the league. But anyway, and the Intuit Dome, the wall is interesting from what I was watching on their first night, I think, on Thursday. So that was fun. Very interesting. It's been a good season so far.
Yeah, I've been really surprised by the Bulls. We're gonna get more into it on that, but I think they look very fluid right now. They've putting up a lot of points
Hmm.
still, even without DeMar DeRozan, and just come
Yeah,
off a victory against the Grizzlies. So I'm really happy watching them. Um, let's start with the Boston Celtics.
yeah, easy.
I told this when we were predicting, so I hate to say it, Diego. I was right. I was right. The Knicks are not going to beat the Celtics, and they didn't.
Oh yeah,
But since that game, they look somehow more lethal from 3-point land than they were last year. And they look
hmm,
a lot more consistent. They just look a lot more dangerous. And this is without Porzingis stretching the floor. The fact
yeah,
that they're able to be so dynamic, and Peyton Pritchard has been balling, balling off. It is insane what he's been doing from like his end as well.
no,
Like
definitely.
right now, they're the best team in the league until further notice. I love
Yep.
what I'm seeing from the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I agree. It just feels like they were already at the top of their game in the playoffs and the finals, and now it seems they somehow stepped it up even more. And I've heard a lot about the whole like, especially the chips on their shoulders for Tatum and Brown after the summer, which is kind of something insane to say, but yeah, they look like they're 100%. Jason Tatum to start that game, just hitting like step back, pull up threes, no more hitching a shot. Very interesting stuff. So yeah, they are easily the best team in the league right now, and someone's gonna have to take that title away from them, and no one has been able to. Even though they almost, it was narrow. They were down against the Pistons in the fourth, I think, yesterday or Sunday. So
No,
hey,
yesterday they were facing the Bucks.
okay,
Like
so
I
two
think
days ago,
even for game one, like Tatum hit like 8 or 9 threes in that game,
yeah,
and then
eight
Peyton
threes, I
Pritchard
believe.
of all people, he went 8 from 12 from 3-point land. It's just like any one of these, and we've seen Derek White in the playoffs go off.
Yeah,
It's any number. Drew Holiday had 4 threes yesterday too. Like it's
mhm,
any number of these guys can go off from 3-point land, and it's crazy. And even from and this was considering that Brown and Tatum went 1 for 12 against the Bucks
yeah,
yesterday from 3-point land. So it's not just one player; anybody can turn it on, and especially with their defense and their dynamicism, like Brown looks even more engaged than he has last season on defense. Like they appear ready, and
yeah.
um, the only thing I'd be worried about is can they sustain it over the season? Because it's right now it's just the beginning, but they look impressive out of the gate.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they're. I think for the most threes shot by a team, like they're just off these first few games, they're projected to like destroy that record, so they could do that. But also, the whole 82 game season isn't something to just skip through, so it's not gonna be that easy. So we'll see how it goes for them.
The one thing that worries me a little bit is the fact that they're not getting much depth besides Pritchard. Like Pritchard has been really, really good for them, but I'm looking at like Al Horford. Like they need him to be on the top of his game because
Yeah.
they're not getting much from Xavier Tillman or Luke Cornett in the minutes they're playing.
Hmm.
So that could be a source of weakness for them, especially if we look at the Western Conference and the amount of great bigs there in Philadelphia. I'm really curious to see how Boston's going to handle them without Porzingis like in these key matchups. So that's the one thing that remains a concern for me. But
Yeah.
for the most part, everybody else looks amazing.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Okay. I know you're really concerned with the Nuggets. Why don't you go ahead and detail to the audience like what's going on and what has you worried about them?
So the big thing, I think, I mean, were they 1-2? They lost. They got smacked. The biggest issue, they got smacked at home by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I don't know, both top teams in the West last year, but again, for the second straight year where the Nuggets lose a player in free agency because they don't feel like paying the tax. Now you've left Jokic to have to drop 40 point games to beat the Raptors last night. That's kind of insane. And I think Russell Westbrook hasn't really helped. It's the usual spacing issues with turning the ball over when he drives. Well, one time it was funny. He does that and then sprints back to get a block on Shea in the first game. But it's just a different Nuggets team. Contavious Caldwell Pope really was able to give this team an offense that was basically unguardable, play reasonable defense, and now it just feels like they can't play the way they used to at all, and especially with Brown, Watson, Strother, and I think no, not their other rookie or young guy, but those three guys are. Christian Brown is playing amazing. He had a great few games so far, but the other two guys really haven't stepped up in that way either. So, or in the same way. So that's the biggest thing. Depth, having Jokic have to do everything. I think Jamal Murray had an okay game last night, so it's just really tough. A lot of load on Jokic, I think, is the biggest worry here.
Yeah, as we speak, they're kind of going neck and neck with the Nets right now. It's like
No way,
15-13 Nets.
actually.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, it is the
insane.
first quarter and it's like kind of like halfway there. So
Yeah, but
not much you can read into that. But I look at the Clippers game and the fact that Jokic is taking 12 threes. I mean, he made
oh
7 of
yeah.
them, which is like that might be the oddest thing I've seen. Like out of a Jokic stat. Listen, like that's the one thing that's not him. Like he can make threes, but he doesn't take a lot of them. He
Hmm.
doesn't. Like, and the fact that he took 12 is what really surprises me. I think they need to figure some stuff out. Um, because like even that game, not a lot of assists from him, 9 rebounds. Like it's only 3 offensive rebounds. We're not used to seeing these kind of stats from Jokic.
Hmm.
Um, so I think without a guy like KCP, it's teams are starting to look at it and say, okay, Jokic, you can do whatever the heck you want, and maybe Murray might get 15 to 20, but everybody
Yeah.
else we're going to keep an eye on. Like Porter hasn't found his 3-point shot. Like he was 0 for
Oh
6 against
yeah.
the Clippers. Aaron Gordon not really being efficient. Like we're used to seeing him get wide open lane cuts and dunks and stuff. He was 3 of 10 from the field. So they're losing a little bit of that efficiency from those like 10 points from each team. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, if I were them, I would still run like action cuts on the top of the elbow between like Jokic and Murray and get some action between them.
Yeah.
Nice 3-point shot by Clay. Nice job.
Yeah. That was kind of insane.
Like
But
you can already see the Mavs looking different with that catch and shoot. But to my
yeah.
point, like on the Nuggets,
Mhm.
they just need to continue running the actions. Like it's I feel like they're trying too hard to get Jokic ISO based on what I'm seeing from these stats and how much is being used.
Mhm.
Um, but a little bit more like continuity between the players and the motions that they do so well
Yeah.
without watching a single game of theirs. I think that would help a ton to alleviate like what we see from the Sox score.
Yeah. I think it's a big thing. Just more chemistry. That's the thing that their starting five had that played over 1,000 minutes in like the first half of the season together. Is just there's a flow that they're nowhere close to right now that they were hitting on offense, and I think that's what they're really missing out right now. Missing out on right.
100%. Yeah. And again, don't want to overreact. It is 4 games.
Yeah.
This is partially me saying like they're still my favorite to go back to the NBA Finals. Dang.
That's kind of
Ant
tough.
is going off from three. I don't know how you
Yeah,
like that. That's
I think he's 4 of 6 now with that one because the
and there's
Mavs
3 minutes in the
overtime.
first quarter. That's no 4 minutes. That's wow. Right over PJ Washington. That looks gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, they almost look completely flipped to the Los Angeles Lakers. Like
yeah,
under new coach with JJ Redick. I just watched them against the Timberwolves
Mhm.
and they look very energized. Like they
Yeah,
look fluid, like they know what they're doing. Like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura look very assertive. They just look different offensively than how I'm used. Like they used to be a little bit more passive and they'll have their moments and like cuts.
hmm
Like Rui is more aggressive off the dribble. Um, Reeves is getting more opportunities to get like ISO ball and stuff. Like this is not stuff I expected to see. I
yeah,
expected to see like more opportunities for Davis and James in JJ Redick's scheme, but
mhm.
I didn't expect to see this out of the two role players. And then everybody making it a point to crash in the boards. They look different. Like I mean, obviously Davis is a game wrecker on the boards, but then you have like
Yeah.
Austin Reeves rebounding and getting his own shot and stuff like that. Like those are the little things that stood out to me about the Lakers.
No, that to me was huge. Just Austin Reeves getting rebounds like that in the first game was insane, and I think just the I don't know how many times we've said it or I've said it, like the whole Anthony Davis needs to be more of a scorer. Anthony Davis needs to hit more threes. But it feels like for once, after everyone knowing that's what they need AD to do, JJ was just able to like get him to buy into that somehow. It took 7 years of him being there, and actually 6 years, I guess this would be. But yeah, no, very very interesting. I do like this new offense from JJ and how they're playing in general. Just a lot more locked in. The way Rui came out on the first night, really aggressive, was very very surprising and nice. So I'm liking this team a lot.
Like it's the reason I'm even looking at the Kings game, which they're like
Yeah.
slow coming out of the gates, but um just I mean Rui going 5 for 13, not ideal, but you're seeing Reeves, Russell, and like Rui, they're all getting like roughly a dozen shots a game each. And that does a lot for like your shooting confidence um and James and Davis are still getting opportunities to put up 30 points, which is good. But
Yeah.
you see you see Brewery have 9 rebounds the same game that Reeves has 7. See
Mhm.
Angelo Russell have 4. Like Reeves have 6 assists, Russell have 5 assists, Brewery have 3 assists. Like these role players on the starting lineup are getting more opportunities outside of shooting the ball and more opportunities to contribute to the offense. It looks fluid. Like
Mhm.
everybody looks like a playmaker in this offense and difference maker. And Delta
Yeah.
Connect, like you get 10 points for him, like
He's
suddenly
hitting
you're
some
looking at
shots.
like 120 points when you combine it all because it's like James and Davis combined for 63. Rui almost put up 20. Reeves and
Mhm.
Russell both put up 16, and then you get like a 2 threes, like 2 other buckets from Connect, and suddenly he's at 10 points. Like that's enough to win. That's
Yeah.
definitely enough to win. So um, they just look completely different, and I enjoy watching them.
No, I'd say the same thing. I just like I just like all the stuff I'm seeing about like how much better JJ is compared to Darvin Ham, which is kind of surprising, right? No one knew how this was going to be. Now, obviously, it's just 4 games, like we've said, but good start. I think they just lost. They lost to the Suns last night, so they're 3-1, something like that. So they're looking really good, and I like the way they kind of lowered LeBron's may not usage, but to give everyone else the opportunity, like you're saying, Reeves and Hachimura, that definitely helps.
Yeah, and like
And Davis,
they're just getting more opportunities to contribute. And
yeah,
like Davis is still being dominant and stuff. So they're finding ways to get involved. Like even that game, like Reeves and Hachimura combining for 18 rebounds, where it's like an even split between the two of them. That's that's significant. That's something to pay attention to.
hmm
For sure. Um Meanwhile, the Chicago Bulls have actually surprised me. This team always somehow
Yeah,
manages to surprise me, like game after game after game. But I just think the way they looked um, so far is like very connected on offense. I'm surprised. They seem to be a lot more fast paced and paced with like
mm,
Giddy. Patrick Williams has been a lot more assertive from 3 point range. Kobe White, like he hit like 5 threes his very first game on the floor. Like it's the role players are stepping up when they need to and making a big difference. And I'm I really just enjoy watching them. And then you have the guys like Levine, who's still getting
yeah,
30, and you have all this talk in the offseason being like, does he want to be there or not? But um, like I mean, I'm looking at the stats from the yesterday's game. I didn't watch with the Grizzlies, but like Patrick Williams
mm,
didn't have a good game. But like it puts less pressure on Vucevic. Now Vucevic is still like they got to clean up the turnovers. That's really annoying me. Where like
mm,
there's one where against the Bucks where like Vucevic actually got destroyed by Giannis because of a really bad decision by Dosunmu, and
yeah,
you you don't want to see that. I still don't like Vucevic at the five from defensive reasons, but like they're putting trust in Giddy to continue to get that 3 point shot. Um,
yeah,
hope Ant's okay. That did not look good. Um, but yeah, I mean Kobe White still continuing his ascension. Dosunmu giving you a reliable
he
10 points a
is.
game, and Jalen
Mhm.
Smith like his 3 point
In the
shooting is making a
threes,
big
yeah,
difference on this team. It's not just the stats I'm seeing from the Grizzlies where he went 3 for 4. It's like even against the Bucks, like he's hitting timely threes. Like this is the one off season move I really liked for sure.
mm.
Um and yeah, I mean give the Bulls credit. They look they look better than I expected.
No, that's really good, especially for Jalen Smith. I was just like, oh, who's the number seven like shooting this three right here? And I didn't know it was him. So I don't know how Lonzo's played in the last few games. I know he played a bit in the first game and maybe the second game. But it's good to see him back on the floor. I think the big thing with Levine too is that he's actually like back playing. It feels like it's been forever, and it feels like there's been so much stuff about like no one wants him. Makes you feel like he's sort of an empty calorie scorer, but he's helping out the team there. And, oh, Kobe White, really working off that almost like most improved player season last year. He dropped like 30 something points, 37 for my fantasy team, so that was insane. Um,
Yeah, I
Bulls
mean
wise, I think
Lonzo, like he looks like his normal self. Like when you see 6 assists, that's
yeah.
really good. I think the shooting is a little bit down, but he's getting like 18 minutes a game. Like when you have Kobe White balling the way he is and Giddy, like
Mm-hmm.
giving you the price of admission, you have to have 13 rebounds, by the way. Jeez. I did not
That's
expect that coming out. I knew he was a playmaker, so I'm not surprised by his high assist numbers, but like 13 rebounds, like he almost got a triple double. Like I did not see that
oh
coming.
right, I think I saw
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
What about Buzelis? How's he looked? I actually haven't watched the Bulls at all
He
yet.
hasn't got much opportunity. Like he got 3 minutes against the Grizzlies. I think I only saw him for like a minute or two against the Bucks.
Yeah,
Um, he looks like he needs a year or two of seasoning because
yeah, definitely.
I think if he hits the weight room for one more year, I'd like that. But I think he looks like a step or two behind in the pro
Okay.
league. Like just with decision making, you could tell he's like trying to do the right thing, but
Mhm.
I think the speed of the pro game hasn't caught up to him yet. So it's early. He might be one of those guys in like the back half of the season that like suddenly just turn it on and become that like sixth or seventh guy you have to have on a team.
Yeah.
Um, but I wouldn't rely on him early on, um, being a rookie. But I see the potential there. It's just more of like there's a potential, and you need to be patient with him and channel it in the right way. But I
Mm.
like what I like what I see from the tangibles. Now it's just like the intangibles get that up to speed.
Learning. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Should be an interesting season for y'all. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, Livy gets traded, but could be something that helps the rebuild if that's what they're actually leaning into.
I think they're just looking for a different approach. And
Yeah.
I mean, for better or worse, DeRozan was a lethal scorer, but oftentimes when the ball was in his hands, like it would end up being like a contested shot. And he could make those. But like I
Yeah.
think for the overall offensive scheme, you're not giving as many people opportunities and
Hmm.
not playing at a faster pace.
Yeah.
So it remains to be seen, like against a really, really good team. when the game slows down in the last 4 minutes of the game, who does the ball come to? I still need to see that. It's probably
Yeah,
going to be Levine, but like Levine is a different cat than DeRozan, whereas like he gets to his spots differently. So it's
yeah.
like once teams are trying to take that away, who else is going to step up?
Mhm.
It's got to be Vucevic or White, but I haven't seen them in those moments like I've seen DeRozan. So that's going to be a little bit of a different situation to monitor, but um, I like what they're trying to go for philosophy wise on offense.
No, yeah, I can understand that, and I'd say for Levine, especially because he's so much more athletic, at least like younger than DeRozan. I feel like he's able to do a bit more stuff on the floor. But no, I like that idea of trying to get the ball out to more people because that definitely changes how good your team can be. That's kind of what the Spurs have done in their dynastical, dynastical, whatever, in their dynasty. But yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we'll see where it
Um,
goes.
yeah, close loss to the Cavs yesterday. They are 4-0, and I haven't seen a game of theirs, so I feel
Me
bad
neither.
about saying it. But um, yeah, wow. It's the New York Knicks we had a lot of high expectations for. Um, looked really, really slow coming out of the gate against the Celtics. Looked like they had no defense
Yeah.
whatsoever. Um, I think for this team, just looking at the personnel, they were hyped to have one of the best defenses in the league. Just
Mhm.
because of like who they have with like Bridges and Ananobi and Hart and
Yeah.
what they're seeing. I told you to watch out for Miles McBride, and he's looked really, really good for them so far. Been a reliable sixth man. It's getting like pretty much 15 points a game. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy what he's doing. But the thing I'm really surprised at, I'm just looking at the stats against the Cavs is Jalen Brunson took 24 shots, shot 33%, didn't hit a single three. Um,
Jeez.
and like Carl Anthony Towns only got 8 shot attempts. Mikal Bridges only 1 3. Ananobi 1 3. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of rebounds for Hart. That's no
Surprise.
shocker there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it still seems very Brunson driven, and I
Mhm.
don't like that. I don't like what's happening with them. So, what have you seen from the Knicks? Like, well, what are things that you would take away from them, or have you not got a chance to see them?
Yeah, I was about to say another team that I actually haven't watched besides a few minutes in the first game. I just think they've got OG, uh, like OG and McCall need to be able to make those shots as 3-point shots, but they might be just like not looking for the shot as much, or it might be, especially in McCall's case, with how everyone's talking about how they've changed his jumper or whatever. Um, I just it seems like with how bad Brunson's been playing, like is that being affected by the refs? I know that's something that was changed last year. That less calls were made. The officiating was a bit more like not stricter, but they let more things happen. So maybe that goes against Brunson, a small guard who isn't necessarily the shiftiest, or maybe not the quickest, but he is the shiftiest of guards. So that could be going against him. But yeah, I think a big thing too is that they just don't have that chemistry. And we're all saying the Nova Knicks and whatnot, but I mean it still takes time. Brunson hasn't played with Mikel in about 6 years, and neither has no. And
And
then
Cat
Josh
hasn't
Hart,
played
he
with
was
these
never
guys
there
either. Like he's not
ever.
exactly like a rim
Yeah,
protector here. Like you look at his,
had
he
to.
didn't have a single block. The only blocks came from Bridges and Ananobi. They got two steals
Mhm.
each, so they're doing part of their job on the defensive end. Like you're not getting rim protector energy from Towns. It's kind of just like a space to
No,
void guy. So they're just structured differently than like
true.
how
I
they
guess
were
it's
last year.
yeah, it's very different because before you could say, oh, like if I get beat, it's not that big of a deal. I'll just funnel the guy to the big man, and I can like help off from there. But that's not able to now. I think now you have your kind of like two big defenders in OG and Cal, and then you're hoping that counteracts Carl Anthony Towns' disabilities in that area,
Yeah,
or lack of ability. It's probably better. But, yeah.
yeah. Just taking a look at their offense, like Evan Mobley looked pretty efficient, pretty dominant on the boards. Jared Allen
Oh yeah.
like always getting a double double pretty much like for
Mm-hmm.
that team.
Yep.
He got 15 rebounds.
Dang. I've heard his offense has been a lot better.
Jared Allen.
Or Mobley, my bad.
Mobley. Yeah, he looks like 7 for 12. I'm fine with that, and he's hitting. He hit 1 3. He's not taking a lot, but like defensively, he's stepping up. Like just based on these
Mhm.
stats, like it's pretty. It's nice and refreshing. It's very interesting, like how the Cavs are structured because like against the Knicks, it was largely 59 points from Garland and Mitchell, not much bench scoring at all. Like
Yeah.
got a lot out of your four starters. Dean Wade had only one
Hmm.
point, and that was on a free throw. He missed all of his shots. Like,
Nice.
um, I don't think that's sustainable for the team. But like, I'm looking at the Cavs stats because I'm trying to see like how they're generating their buckets, and
Mhm.
I noticed a lot of free throw attempts. Like I noticed a
Okay.
lot. Like if you look at Allen's getting like 7,
Hmm.
Mobley got 2, Garland got 5, Mitchell got 4. But when you add them all up, like it's like multiple players are getting multiple opportunities at the line, and
Yeah.
especially from like the big spots, the bigs, like that
Hmm.
screams to me that like you're not playing fundamentally sound from like those positions because you wouldn't want to have a guard on a big. So it's
Hmm.
most likely Cats involved in one of those players. Like either they're switching on the call and pick and roll to get Cat and they're getting those foul calls,
Yeah.
or it's like Cat going 1-on-one against a guy like Allen or Mobley. So
Hmm.
um, that's the piece they're gonna have to figure out the interior defense. But um, I still think they can. It's not a big deal given it's like 4 games in,
Yeah.
but it's just something I don't think people expected at the start of the season.
No, definitely. We were all kind of on the Knicks train, like, oh, Knicks to the finals for sure. And now it again, it's hard to say anything because it's been only 4 games, but it's not looking good right now. So we'll see what they cook up.
Okay. What are the Mavs cooking from what you see?
Bro, I mean, Anthony Edwards only missing 2 shots of his 10 shots, and 8 of those shots he shot being threes, and him making 6 of them is insane. So we're currently down by 8. I think some injury just happened, so it just cut to commercial, which kind of sucks. Hopefully, I think Gafford was walking out of the arena, so I don't know what's happening there. But overall, Mavs, I'm feeling good. Clay is really, especially in that first game, the way him, Kyrie, and Luca popped off was really nice to really push us against the Spurs for another game 1 win against the Spurs. This time at our home court and not in San Antonio. So all I'm saying is game 1, Wemby lockdown cheat code is Derek Lively. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
I'm looking at the Mavs stats against the Jazz yesterday.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that's probably attributing to their slow start today. But Clay
Oh
Thompson, 4
right.
threes. Derek Lively, 3 blocks, 70% efficiency. Like that's really good to
Mhm.
see. Spencer Dinwiddie giving you 10 buckets, like coming off the bench. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, not much from PJ Washington or Gafford.
Unfortunately
You hope
not. No.
you're hoping Washington can continue adding some threes there, but um, it comes and goes. He had a double double, so
Yeah.
that's at least impactful. Um, yeah, with Kyrie and Luca combining for 17 assists, you love to see that. That means they're getting
Hmm.
everybody involved. I really think Klay Thompson is going to be a huge difference for them. Like
Oh
when they
definitely.
try to get like in their ISO game, this will allow them to play a lot faster, and I think it's going to give Luca more easy answers. I felt like everything for him deep in the playoffs was very difficult.
Hmm.
Now it's like I think this will even up the pick and roll game even more so because you can't get a help defender for Gafford or Lively um,
Yeah.
as lob threats. So I think this helps their overall offense. It's going to make it a lot faster, easier buckets to find in the half court. I really like where the Mavs are going.
Yeah. Uh, just because I was reminded of him because he just made a mid range. Jaden Hardy is looking really nice, starting in his 3rd year. Really great creator, ball handling, passing. So very interesting. Right now he's like, yeah, no Luca, him and Kyrie as the guards with Dinwiddie as well is very interesting. But Gafford did get injured. It looks like something up with he might have sprained his ankle or some like lower leg thing. But yeah, currently down by 7 with 10 minutes to go in the second. So
Yeah,
We'll
I
see how
saw
it
off a
goes.
nice Dinwiddie steal. Like that was
Yeah,
good to see. DiVincenzo,
yeah,
jeez. Oh my gosh.
yeah. DiVincenzo, man. DiVincenzo was literally Clay Thompson for a minute there last season. What a board
I
by
can't
Mike
believe the
Conley.
Warriors let him go. Like that was just wild to me.
Yeah, but I don't
They
know if he
had
was
him in
that
this.
good when that happened, because that was 2020, or was he? I keep getting confused if he was on the Warriors before or after he was on the Bucks. No, it was after. It was after
I think it was after. He started on the
because he
Bucks?
was on. Yeah, no, he got drafted by the Bucks. Yes, in 2018. I'd like to think it's 2018. Dante DiVincenzo draft.
I'm looking up the same thing as career. Um,
Yep, 2018. Bucks. He got drafted by the Bucks, then went to the Warriors, then
Sacramento, then
where's
Warriors. Yeah.
Sacramento. Then where'd he go in
Played for
between? He didn't go.
six. He's played for 5 teams.
Yeah,
Wow.
but where'd he go in between Knicks and King or Warriors?
No, he didn't go
Did
anywhere. He played in
it's right
Milwaukee
there.
for 4 seasons. Then he went
Yep.
to Sacramento for like half a season, like a quarter of
Oh,
a season. Then
they
played in
played on
Golden
the
State.
Warriors.
Yeah, and then Knicks, and then Timberwolves now.
Nice.
So
He should have 2 rings then. Kind of insane.
I
And
don't
he
know.
has a national championship with Villanova. He cooked
Yeah.
it. He cooked Michigan in that game. That's why I know he's drafted in 2018. But anyway, yeah, we're getting a bit insane here with the basketball trivia.
Do you think he can? Do you think these Mavs can turn it around and get a double back-to-back win here?
No, I think that we can. Now, are we? Just saw another turnover. We'll see. As long as Ant doesn't keep anting as he was earlier, should be fine. He was, in fact, anting. He's going crazy.
There you go, guys. Another word added to the Zuniga vocabulary here.
Yes, sir.
Ante. We'll see if he ants.
Anting.
We'll see if he can't. You guys take care. Take it easy.
Yep.
You can follow us on
Yeah.
our Instagram page at amon.a.mission.
Boom.
Right there. Yep. YouTube channel where full length videos are. I'm on a mission. Thank you guys so much. We will watch the rest of this Timberwolves and oh my, what was Lively doing? Oh my,
Oh, that turnover, yeah,
that
that
was
hurt.
so bad. Oh my,
Switch.
didn't they Lucas like Calvin Johnson or something? Jeez, everybody's just like playing hacky sack out here. Alrighty, guys.
Yeah,
I'm getting distracted watching this game. Clearly wanted to look at the next few minutes here. But
yeah.
you guys take care, take it easy, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.